I took an off week from tanking to play my Mistweaver because the affixes were so horrible. It was sanguine and necrotic this week, so I had no real interest in doing anything serious at all anyway. And I do occasionally like to play Mistweaver because, or really any healer, because as a healer, you learn a lot about the mechanics of a dungeon that you would never really care about as a tank because you're not responsible for what happens when things go wrong. So I pushed up from 11 to 17 healing, and I'm not a healer, so I'm pretty terrible. But there actually were a few notable things that I took away. But I will take these things and play a little bit differently when I tank. Some of them because I didn't appreciate just how dangerous they were, because as a tank, especially a DK tank, now I'm like unkillable, so I'm just doing my own thing. I don't really mind too much, especially in pugs, but even in general, there are a lot of things I just don't pay attention to that aren't like tank related. One example is the overgrowth that cast from the villager.
Oh, he's dead. Why?
So you got targeted by the overgrowth, man.
I had literally never paid attention to that ability in my whole life. My healers just kind of took care of it. In the future, I'll actually just throw an AMZ out. I just never actually considered doing anything about that spell. And it's something that I wouldn't have changed if I didn't occasionally play a healer.
Again.
Similarly, another spell that I basically just ignored as the tank was Anima Injection.
Oh, you have to live somehow. Oh, I'm dead. What the fuck was that?
Same thing here. I'm typically just holding on to AMZ for nothing, so I'll just throw it out now whenever an injection goes off. While I was learning a lot from a healer perspective about tanking, my friend was also learning firsthand about tanking while I was doing this. He normally heals. And getting to see a fresh tank firsthand, I can appreciate what people have trouble with too.
Only circle. No!
Oh,
I need big healing.
Unsurprisingly, a lot of it is related to tracking, the affix, which is this week very hard. So credit to him for doing it in the first place. But some things you just have to learn by experience.
We got some birds here. You're 75 stacks. You got a file. You have a file.
My file!
You gotta have a file.
Wait, no, I definitely had a file.
Well, you have 0 on my UI.
Why does it say 1 on mine?
Oh, it's because the bug.
For whatever reason, there is some bug relating to our file and Hellstones where sometimes the UI just doesn't update, and it looks like you have one charge of file or Hellstone left, but you just don't, and you find out the hard way because you die when you can't use it. So the Wowhead guides don't really say, don't trust the Blizzard UI, but you learn that eventually. I did learn that the game is totally different when you're playing keys under 15. Very strange things happen sometimes. Often it's the case that people don't kick at all.
You're in danger. Oh, you're in super danger. You're taking so much damage.
One drop of kick!
So I'll have to keep that in mind from people too when I get questions, for example, on videos, because I have no idea, what their experience is. If they're running 18s or 20s, it's totally different than if they're running like 10s. And in some ways, running 10s is like a lot harder if you're, appropriately geared for the 10 than it is to run like, an 18. But even in hierarchies, while I was healing, in halls, for example, I didn't appreciate just how hard it was for people to actually dodge frontals. So, in this clip, for example, like people are just getting destroyed. Starting here, getting deadly thrusted myself as a Mistweaver, I definitely can't take that hit anymore. And this first bowl continues to be really bad just because we have 3 of these frontal guys, and now everyone's standing in the pack, and you can see everyone's just getting frontaled every single time a frontal happens. So, I mean, in a lot of ways, it's not the tank's fault, obviously, but now I can appreciate from the healer's point of view, like, God, like, I wish something would be done about all of this mayhem. And you can see, we continue to die because of frontals. The warrior dies again right there. And all the meanwhile, I had no appreciation of how strong shoot really was from the archer. And I just, get picked off when I'm low. So I really had no appreciation for how dangerous it is for anyone to be, less than half health while there's an archer around randomly shooting people. Yeah, and just when you think that you're home free, when I can finally practice my Mistweaver Venthyr portal where I can just spin around, we die again. 2 people die to 1 or 2 frontals. I don't know which one it was. And then while I'm standing in melee range, I get frontaled again. So, yeah. Then I die to a shoot. Well, that's all interesting. And I'm obviously a tank, so what does this mean for me? I mean, really, it just means, you can do this. You can just, start to stun and stop the frontals if you want to have a higher chance of succeeding in your pugs. Bam, right there. Stun. No deadly thrust. I mean, there's like 2 other people in range of getting thrusted. And, before my Mistweaving experience, I would just say, like, okay, they should dodge it, right? But, okay, maybe I'll go the extra mile now that I feel how painful it is from their point of view. and I yoinked it there. Like, we have a lot of tools to actually stop these thrusts, and it's easy to say, like, okay, it's easy to dodge, so they can just dodge it, and it's fine. We'll get along, and maybe it won't kill them anyway, but I don't know. Like, if you're doing anything at this point in WoW, like, you're just trying to get better while we're waiting for Nanda too, right? So here's one more thing you can add to the list. But I will say, if nothing else, just playing a healer and seeing how other tanks do things and seeing them mess up like you mess up, like, it's at least fun.
Nice.
Yeah, make sure they don't touch you though. Yeah, they touch you. You know you're backing up into the other group. Oh, you're fucked.
So if the affixes are bad and you need something to do, then go roll a Mistweaver. Good luck, have fun.